What's up guys, Rampage here again bringing you today's question of the day. So for today's question I'm going to be asking you guys, what is your favorite fighting type Pokemon? Now for me, I already said that Heracross was my favorite bug type Pokemon, and I'll try not to do any repeats, so I won't be saying Heracross. So my favorite fighting type Pokemon is probably going to be Blaziken. You know, Blaziken is just a badass Pokemon, pretty cool, and you can't really go wrong with a Blaziken, so leave your answers in the comments below, and let's get started with the battle. What's up guys, Rampage here again, bringing you another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Here we got a pretty great game that I found off of the Smoke on Wi-Fi Battle Finder. This was an OU match against some guy who goes by the name of Alex5858, and like I said, it was a pretty good game. I really enjoyed it. I had it a few hours ago. I was just trying to get a whole bunch of battles in just so I could have a lot of uploading material for a while. I really wasn't able to get that many good battles in now, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, let's look at the teams. I'm using the same rain team as I used last time. My opponent's using a Xatu and a Mienshao. Those are the really not so standard things in this team. I'm like, Mienshao still OU, but it's not really that common. And Xatu, I don't see why you not run an Espeon, but whatever. I just kept that in the back of my mind. And I'm not really worried about anything except the Celebi and the Rotom, really. But anyway, let's just get started with this battle. So I'm going to lead off with my Politoed. My opponent's going to lead off with his Celebi, and I'm thinking, since he leads off with Celebi, I could just switch out into my Ferrothorn because he might want to go for the Leech Seed or the Grass move. I don't want to stay in and take that, so I'm just going to go out in the Ferrothorn. He's actually going to go for the U-turn, probably predicting that, so that's pretty a good play on his part. That's pretty much a good play on his part, and he's going to U-turn out into his Mienshao. Now I know this thing is most likely going to have the U-turn as well, but I don't want to take any risks. He could predict me to stay in predicting his U-turn and go for the high jump kick. I didn't want to play risky, so I'm just going to switch out into my Gliscor, and he's going for the U-turn again. So now he's going to go out into his Rotom Wash, which is actually a pretty good switch in for him because a Hydro Pump in the rain is pretty much going to be doing a lot of damage to anything on his team. So I'm just going to go for the Protect to see what he wants to go for. He's going to go for the Hydro Pump. Don't want to take that with my Gliscor, so I'm going to switch out into my Ferrothorn, and now he's going to go for the Volt Switch. So the first thing that tells me is that this thing is definitely not Scarf, so I don't have to worry about that. And now it's going to go back out into his Mienshao. And then, actually, when I looked at his team again, when I thought about his team again, I just thought that his whole team actually has, or potentially has, U-turn on it. So I'm thinking, this guy's running a U-turn team. This is going to be annoying, and yeah. And actually, right now it is annoying because it's getting a little repetitive. I'm going to switch back out to Gliscor, fearing the high jump kick from his Mienshao, and he's going to U-turn out into his Rotom, and then we're just going to go through the same moves and all that fun stuff. Except now he doesn't go for the Volt Switch. He directly switches out into his Mienshao, and I'm going to go out in Dragonite to try and break this chain, and he's actually just going to go for the U-turn to break my multi-scale, which is a good play on his part. And he's just going to switch out. I believe he's going to go out into his Rotom, as I'm just going to go for the Hurricane, and that's definitely going to do quite a lot of damage to the Rotom. Like, it does resist, but, well, that's a lot of damage in my eyes. It does resist, but it's still a lot of damage considering it's a resisted hit in this Dragonite, which doesn't have the best special attacking stat, but still pretty good. So anyway, now he's going to Volt Switch out. He's going to go out into his Scizor now, another U-turning Pokemon. This Pokemon definitely has a U-turn, most likely. And I'm just basically thinking, this guy's most likely Wilechase in disguise. Not really, but I was kind of thinking that to myself. I know it's most likely not, but it's pretty funny just thinking like that. So yeah, I'm battling Wilechase in disguise, and I'm going to go for the Hurricane on his Scizor, which is great because I do get the confusion, and he's just going to go for the U-turn. And see, the Scizor has U-turn as well, so this guy is Wilechase in disguise. I've just proved it with seeing as though his whole team has U-turn. Not really, just joking. But anyway, he's going to go out into a Celebi now and go for the Hidden Power. I was hoping he would go for the U-turn, seeing as though he was doing it all battle, but I just got outplayed, and I am able to live the Hidden Power Ice, but it does leave my Dragonite pretty much useless, seeing as though the rest of his team pretty much outspeeds me, so Dragonite won't be too much useful. But I will be able to take out the Celebi with the Hurricane, so that's nice. He's going to bring out his Mienshao now. Knowing that the Fake Out's coming, I'm just going to switch out into my Ferrothorn. And he is going to go for the Fake Out, which is great because he will receive some Iron Barbs damage, and I do like that. And he also receives, you know, the Life Orb damage, which is pretty cool. So I was hoping he would go for the U-turn here, predicting me to go out in the Gliscor. That doesn't happen. He's going to go for the high jump kick, take me straight out. So now I've lost my chance of setting up rocks, meaning that he can just freaking U-turn and vault switch anytime he wants, and that's going to be annoying. But that will also let me bring in my Terrakion safely, as I'm just going to go for the close combat. It hits everything on his team pretty hard, even this Randarosu, which does resist. Why did I say Randarosu? His Landorus, which does resist, and that close combat did a lot. And now I see the leftovers, which is pretty weird on the Landorus, but well, no, it's just pretty weird. But I see the leftovers, so I know that this thing isn't scarfed as well, meaning my Rotom can outspeed this thing for days. And I am going to switch into my Rotom because he can't hit me with the Earthquake, and I can just hit him with a Hydro Pump. But he's going to switch out his Rotom, which is still going to do a lot of damage to this Rotom because it is a Hydro Pump in the rain. So that's nice. So anyway, I'm just going to stay in, go for another Hydro Pump, should be able to take out his Rotom, and now I don't have to worry about the Vault Switch. So that's nice. I've taken out 2 of his biggest threats to my team, and now his last biggest threat is pretty much this Mienshao because it has that strong high jump kick, which I don't want to take a lot. But I'm going to go out in the Dragonite. He's going to go for the Fake Out, and I just left my Dragonite in, well, not left, but I switched my Dragonite in his Death Father so I could get a safe switch out into my Terrakion and go for the close combat. He's just going to bring out his Zatu, and I'm going to go for the close combat. It still does a lot of damage considering that Zatu does 4 times resist it, and I should be able to take it out with a Stone Edge the next turn, so let's just hope that I hit. But of course, since it's me, I don't hit, and then he's going to go for the Thunder Wave on me, and that's really going to suck because now my Terrakion is pretty much useless, seeing as though his guys such as Landorus and Mienshao outspeed me, and I really can't hit those guys hard at all. So now, well, I can hit those guys hard, but since they outspeed me, I can't really hit them hard. Anyway, I'm going to get Parahax as he goes for the U-turn out into his Mienshao. Don't know what I was saying before that. And I'm just going to go out into my Gliscor now because Gliscor should be able to wall this thing for days. Except that he's going to have the Hidden Power Ice, which I didn't really see coming. I know that they usually carry it sometimes, but I just didn't think he'd have it. I don't know why. And he does have it. It's going to take me out with the HP Ice, which really sucks. So I'm just going to go out and roll him now. I don't want to start Vault Switching just yet, just because he still has his Landorus alive, and I don't want to be locked in on Vault Switch as he brings in his Landorus. So I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump. Of course I miss because it is me, and since it's me, that definitely means it's going to miss. But anyway, he's going to bring out his Scizor, go for the Bullet Punch. Doesn't do much. I do 4 times resist that, and I will be able to take that out with a Hydro Pump. So I'm not worried about that. And now he's going to bring out his Mienshao again, which this thing is becoming real annoying. But I'm just going to switch out into my Terrakion as Death Fathers just so I can rack up some Life Orb damage. And then I could just probably switch in my Politoed or something to take this thing on. So that's the plan right now. Just going to leave Terrakion in as Death Father. He's going to go for the high jump kick, take me out, get some Life Orb damage. I'm going to switch out in the Politoed now. I do have the Scald in the rain, so that should be doing quite a chunk of damage to this thing. Hopefully it will take him out though because Mienshao doesn't have good defenses. He will go for the high jump kick, definitely not take me out, and I will definitely take him out, so that's great, like Tony the Tiger would say. So now he's going to switch out into this thing, Zatu, that's what his name is. And he's going to go for the Nightshade. I was over 100 HP, so I'm able to live that. And I'm going to go for the Ice Beam. I don't know why I went for Ice Beam over Scald, because I think they're the same base power after Stab and Rain. I mean, yes, after Stab and Rain. So I probably should have went for the Scald. There's a higher chance of getting the burn and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to go for the Scald now as he goes for the Roost. I thought he would just take me out. But whatever, it's all good because I'm able to get the burn on his Zatu on this turn, which is great, and that just rhymed because I'm cool. So the burn is happening, and he's just going to take me out with the Nightshade, and that's cool because I can just bring out my Rotom. I do have Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump should be able to take out his Landorus and his Zatu from this range of HP, so if I just lock myself in on that, I'm pretty much set. So I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump. Luckily I don't miss because I don't know why. I don't know. So now his last guy is this Landorus, and Hydro Pump will definitely take this thing out. So that's going to leave me with the narrow 1-0 victory. It was a pretty fun game. Kind of annoying with all that U-turn shenanigans, but whatever, to each his own. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please push that like button. Also leave a comment. I do enjoy your comments, and yeah, what else do I have to say? I'll probably try to start my new time to play this week. My next time to play. So yeah, look forward to that. And there's pretty much nothing else to say here. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I will see you guys in the near future. Hope you all have a nice day. And this is Rampage here, signing out. Peace out. Goodbye.